Friends, let's start our next class, which is for HPCL Mechanical Engineering. And आप YourPedia के ऊपर रेगुलर HPCL की क्लासेस लाइव क्लासेस अटेंड कर रहे हैं फॉर मैकेनिकल इंजीनियरिंग, फॉर इलेक्ट्रिकल इंजीनियरिंग एंड similar subjects. And you know, YourPedia is the platform which has launched HPCL module every year. I mean, 2021 first time, second 22, third 23, 23rd, and 2023, and then now 24. There was a small syllabus change जो 23 में हुआ था, नए टॉपिक ऐड हुए थे एंड दे आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. अभी हम लोग जो क्लासेस कर रहे हैं उन्हीं नए टॉपिक्स की क्लासेस कर रहे हैं एंड दीज न्यू टॉपिक्स वर एडेड इन HPCL सिलेबस. ये वो टॉपिक हैं फ्रेंड्स जो आप देख पा रहे हैं. दीज आर द न्यू टॉपिक्स जो इंजीनियरिंग सर्विसेज के प्री का भी पार्ट है. तो IES प्रिलिमिनरी में जो टॉपिक्स आपके हैं उन टॉपिक्स को उठा के HPCL का पार्ट बना दिया गया. मैं बहुत सी क्लासेस ले चुका हूं बेसिक्स ऑफ एनर्जी एंड एनवायरनमेंट टॉपिक में से. कुछ यूट्यूब पे अवेलेबल हैं, कुछ यूट्यूब पे अवेलेबल नहीं है. मैंने एनवायरनमेंट इंपैक्ट असेसमेंट, क्लाइमेट चेंज कवर किया है, एनवायरनमेंट पोल्यूशन एंड डिग्रेडेशन के क्वेश्चंस, कंजर्वेशन के क्वेश्चन. आज हमारा जो टॉपिक है वो एनवायरनमेंट पोल्यूशन में एयर पोल्यूशन में से मैं कुछ टॉपिक लेके एयर पोल्यूशन का हम लोग कवर करेंगे. एयर पोल्यूशन वाला पार्ट हम लोगों ने एयर पोल्यूशन वाला पार्ट वी हैव डिस्कस्ड इन अर्लियर क्लासेस आल्सो व्हेन वी डिस्कस्ड अबाउट क्लाइमेट चेंज, ग्लोबल वार्मिंग. Global warming is also somewhere related to air pollution. So we have already discussed topics like climate, global warming, acid rain, and you know what are the different kind of dynamics involved in this, and what are the polluters, different polluters, main pollution, ozone layer depletion. These things we have discussed. In today's class, we'll proceed forward, and we will go for we will go for environment pollution. And in the environment pollution, our first this part is the air pollution today. Now, definition of air pollution means anything which pollutes air. It has two ways to see air pollution. Number one, कोई भी फिजिकल, केमिकल, बायोलॉजिकल चेंज अगर एयर के अंदर आ जाए जो उसकी क्वालिटी गिरा दे, एनीथिंग विच रिड्यूसेस द क्वालिटी ऑफ एयर इज एयर pollution. Second is, suppose the proportion of the gases in air gets changed. You know, air is oxygen plus nitrogen. What if oxygen becomes less and carbon dioxide becomes more? Greenhouse gases get added in air, right? So greenhouse gases get added in the air, then it is going to create the climate change. So that is also component of air pollution. So anything which changes the quality of air, it can be gases which are eliminated from industries, from power plant, from transport, smoke, dust, anything that eventually becomes the part of air pollution. So that is a generic definition of the air pollution. Now, there are two main categories of air pollution, and the question comes from there. Air pollution is of two types, primary and secondary. Now, understand what is the primary pollutant and what is the secondary pollutant. Primary pollutant are those which directly come from the source. Let us say power plant or automobile. SOx, SOx, NOx, NOx, SOx. SOx, NOx जो निकलता है ऑटोमोबाइल से वो प्राइमरी पॉल्यूटेंट है, बिकॉज इट इज डायरेक्टली कमिंग फ्रॉम द सोर्स. It is easy to control the primary pollutant because I can control it at the source. Now, what is the secondary pollutant? When SOx gets mixed with water, chemical reaction, it becomes H2SO4. That is the acid rain. When oxygen gets mixed with O atom, oxygen atom, it becomes ozone. Ozone is a secondary pollutant. So primary pollutant, secondary pollutant. Very, very important for us to know these two pollutants. So directly which comes from the source is called primary pollutant. Directly it leads to air pollution. So like sulfur dioxide, which is emitted from the factories, becomes the primary pollutant, cause of the primary pollution. Secondary is when there's a reaction, chemical reaction with the primary, it becomes a secondary. And the typical example of secondary pollution is this. This is a typical example of secondary pollution. Smoke, which is nothing but smoke plus fog, right? So smoke comes from chimney, let us say. It comes from some power plant chimney. Now this smoke is a primary pollutant, but when it mixes with fog, it becomes smog, and this smog becomes secondary pollutant. It becomes secondary pollutant. So this smoke plus fog, it becomes smog. This is the main difference between primary and secondary pollutant. And please go through this slide now. इस स्लाइड में बहुत क्लियरली बताया गया है what is the primary pollutant, what is the secondary pollutant. Primary comes directly from the source and it is, unstable, but secondary is stable. That means it is difficult to control the secondary pollutant, difficult to reduce. And example, particulate matter, carbon monoxide, SOx, NOx, all these things, ozone, acid rain, etc. are secondary pollutant. So whatever I gave you the example, primary and secondary pollutant, you should be aware about this. What is the secondary? What is the primary pollutant? What is the secondary pollutant? Some idea you should have about this. Now, we talked about global warming, and greenhouse gases are mainly responsible for global warming. एग्जाम में क्वेश्चन आता है कौन सी ग्रीन हाउस गैस का सबसे ज्यादा कंट्रीब्यूशन है ग्लोबल वार्मिंग के अंदर. तो देखो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड मेजॉरिटी कंट्रीब्यूशन, उसके बाद मीथेन जिसको नेचुरल गैस या मार्श गैस भी बोलते हैं, दैट इज मीथेन. देन नाइट्रस ऑक्साइड N2O, एंड देन कॉम्बिनेशन में सारी मिला दी जाए तो दैट इज द combination of all these gases. So all these gases combined lead to greenhouse. इन सब का इम्पैक्ट कंबाइंड होता है. तो ये इमेज आपको दिमाग में रखनी है एंड यू शुड हैव सम आइडिया which gas is eventually leading to greenhouse gas and climate change impact. So that is what you should know. Now, what is the difference between primary and secondary pollutant? So again we said, what is primary air pollutant? Particulate, carbon monoxide, nitrogen oxide, जो भी सोर्स से डायरेक्टली आते हैं, डायरेक्टली फ्रॉम पर्टिकुलर सोर्स इज कॉल्ड प्राइमरी पोल्यूटेंट. ये नाम याद रखने हैं. SOx, NOx, इनको NOx, SOx इनको बोलते हैं NOx, SOx, बिकॉज ये प्राइमरी पोल्यूटेंट है. सेकेंडरी जो आपके केमिकल रिएक्शन के बाद बनते हैं. तो सेकेंडरी पोल्यूटेंट इज जो केमिकल रिएक्शन हुआ उसके बाद बने. Ozone and smoke and all is the example of secondary pollutant. And secondary pollutant are difficult to control and difficult to handle. That is what you should know. Now let's go for some question. Which of the following is not the primary air pollutant? इनमें से कौन सा primary air pollutant नहीं है? So as you see friends, ozone is not the primary air pollutant. Ozone is not the primary air pollutant. And which of the following is not a correct statement related to primary and secondary pollutants? So all the statements are correct except secondary air pollutants are not easy to control. They are not easy to control. Okay, particle matter क्या होता है? Particulate matter या particle matter क्या होता है? And in the exam, two terms very frequently they ask: PM10, PM2.5. Now, what is PM10 and what is PM2.5? That very frequently they ask. Particle matter, very small size particle. When it becomes source of pollution, it becomes particle matter. I give you example: dust particle. कहीं पे बहुत ज्यादा डस्ट हो and you start inhaling the dust, it is going to lead to health problem, right? So particle, very small particle, when it creates the problem, health problem, it becomes particle matter and it becomes a pollution. Now PM10 and PM2.5 is the terminology very frequently used. 10, 2.5, PM5 means what? PM10 means particle matter of size 10 micrometer. What is 1 micrometer? So 1 micrometer is 10 raised to minus 6 meter. 1 micrometer, as all of you know, 10 raised to minus 6 meter. So when we say PM10, that means the diameter is 10 micrometer. When we say PM2.5, so diameter is 2.5 micrometer. And you know that 2.5 is less than 10, so smaller size 2.5 ka hai. Now suppose I ask you question, which particle matter is more dangerous for health, 2.5 or 10? Answer is 2.5, because it will go inside the lungs and it will create more trouble. Now when you go on the sea side, beach side, you take a dust particle, its size will be 90 micron, 90. The typical hair which we have, the diameter of that hair is 50 to 70 micro. 10 micrometer PM10 is typically dust particle. Construction site pe if you go, dust particle, or that will be PM10. But when you take the smoke or exhaust of some automobile, that exhaust, that soot, that exhaust, that this particle, smoke particle, is of the size of 2.5 micron. So that is PM 2.5. So PM 2.5, PM 10, these things you should be very, very aware. And this particular size is so small that when you inhale it, then it may create a trouble in your lungs. And this is, there are two classification. One is fine fraction particle, another is a coarse particle. So this PM10 is of larger size, that is a coarse particle, and 2.5 is a very small particle, that is a fine particle. Example, PM 2.5 will come from motor vehicle, power plant, wood burning, etc., whereas PM10 will come from typically dust particles. So little idea about क्या होते हैं ये PM10, PM2.5, इनका आइडिया आपको होना चाहिए. So PM10, as I told you, is a coarse particle, and you typically get these from dust, grinding operation, crushing, roads, ये आपका PM10 होता है. And PM2.5 is something which you get by burning of the fuel, exhaust gases, motor vehicles, and all these power plants, and all you get PM 2.5. Okay, let's go for next, friends. What actually we understand by particulate matter? It is also called particle pollution. Particle matter means particle pollution. When a very small particle enters your body, then obviously it leads to health problem and it becomes pollution. For human being, pollution simply means something which is creating our health issues. Air pollution means if air is clean, it is not creating health issues. But when the air is polluted, contaminated, तो वो health problem create करेगा. पार्टिकल मैटर मींस जब किसी पार्टिकल का साइज छोटा हो जाए और एयर के साथ मिलके वी इनहेल इट, वी टेक इट इनसाइड द बॉडी, इनहेल इट, it is going to create a trouble for us. So that basically will become the particle matter, that will become the issue for us, and hence this particle pollution will be created. So solid, particle, liquid, droplet, when you mix these things, it becomes the particulate matter. Example is dust, dirt, soot, smoke, all these are particulate matter. Dust can be PM10, but this smoke and soot can be PM2.5. This is the difference between the two, PM10, PM2.5. And if you want to detect these particles, detect these small particles, particulate matters, you need to detect these through electron microscopes. Yeah. Okay, so this diagram, please check. Just see this diagram. Comparative analysis, as I told you, comparative analysis of the size. If you take hair, then the size of typical one hair, the size is 50 to 70 micrometer. 10 micrometer is if on the hair, if you put small dot like this, particle matter 10. And particle matter 2.4, 2.5 means very, very small, even on dot on this blue part. So that is the comparative analysis of the size. And as I told you, if you go on sea side and you take a sand on the sea beach, the typical size of that is 90 micrometer, 90. Again, another slide and another comparative analysis. So beach side 90 micron, human hair 50 to 70, particle matter this 10 and 2.5. So all PM 2.5, PM 10, then 50 to 70 micron, PM 90. So कंपैरेटिव एनालिसिस दिया हो तुम्हें, और जो जितना छोटा होता जाएगा पार्टिकल मैटर वो उतना ही हार्मफुल होता जाएगा ह्यूमन हेल्थ के लिए. That will be problematic for human health. Now friends, this PM10 and PM2.5, I've given you the example of that, and these are part of air pollution and they should be avoided, because eventually these will lead to the problem of the health problem if you inhale these particular particle matter. Main source इसके क्या होते हैं? What are the main sources of particle matter? Construction site, roads, field, fires, they are the source of particle matter. And sometime some chemical reactions takes place, and then the pollutants get emitted from power plant or industries or automobile. So industries, automobile, factories, chemicals, particle matter 2.5. Construction site, dust particle, grinding, crushing, pavement, PM10. This is a typical example of particle matter and the source from where you can get it. Again, some more example where you get the elements or the metals in the particle matters. So it can be power plant, it can be vehicle, it can be farm, it can be other nature activities from where you can get this particle matter. Okay, so which of the following is the largest contributor to PM10? अब ये डाटा है, फैक्ट है, आपको वैसे ही याद करना पड़ेगा, एग्जाम में डायरेक्टली क्वेश्चन आता है कि PM10 हमें कहां से मिलता है, फ्रॉम वेयर वी कैन गेट PM10 डायरेक्टली. आंसर इज ट्रांसपोर्ट इज द मेन सोर्स. ये स्लाइड आप देखो, थोड़ा सा डाटा आपको यहाँ पे दिया हुआ है. तो 44% पार्टिकल मैटर आता है ट्रांसपोर्ट से, फिर रेजिडेंशियल एरिया, फिर इंडस्ट्रीज, फिर बिल्डिंग्स. और ये PM10 की बात कर रहे हैं हम, PM2.5 की नहीं. तो PM10 का लार्जर सोर्स कहां है, कहां से लार्जर सोर्स आता है? सो दैट इज व्हाट वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट. Okay, which of the following is the largest source of air pollution? What is the largest source of air pollution? Again, now air pollution, we are not talking about particle matter, हम air pollution की बात कर रहे हैं. एयर के अंदर डायरेक्टली जो पोल्यूशन क्रिएट कर देता है, दैट इज मेनली डस्ट एंड द कंस्ट्रक्शन साइट एंड कंस्ट्रक्शन इंडस्ट्रीज. सो 45% डस्ट है, फिर बर्निंग है, फिर इंडस्ट्रीज है, फिर उसके बाद आपका अदर डोमेन्स है. तो एयर पोल्यूशन इस तरीके से सेग्रीगेटेड है. एयर पोल्यूशन का मेन सोर्स क्या है, दैट यू शुड आल्सो नो. एग्जाम में डायरेक्टली क्वेश्चन आता है कि एयर पोल्यूशन का मेन सोर्स क्या है, कहां से एयर पोल्यूशन आपका ज्यादा आता है. कॉजेज क्या हैं? नाउ वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट व्हाट आर द मेन कॉजेज ऑफ एयर पोल्यूशन. एज आई टोल्ड यू फ्रेंड्स, एयर के अंदर कंटेमिनेशन हो जाए, गैसेस का कंटेमिनेशन हो जाए, वो पोल्यूशन का मेन कारण है. when there is a contamination of the gases in the air, it is the main source of the pollution. So the contamination can be because of the burning of the fossil fuel. Delhi NCR region के अंदर, नेशनल कैपिटल टेरिटरी NCR region में, so stubble burning is one of the main cause of air pollution. Stubble burning in the neighboring states, Punjab, Haryana, there is a stubble burning when the farmers will burn their farm produce, they will burn that. Stubble burning से जो निकलता है smoke and all, that is the main source of air pollution in the NCR region. Now this burning of the fuel, fossil fuels, and burning of the agriculture produce will give you these kind of gases: sulfur dioxide, carbon monoxide. So fossil fuel is petrol, diesel, coal. This is the fossil fuel. So burning of fossil fuel is one of the main sources of air pollution. Then automobile greenhouse gases. Again, automobiles are also burning the fossil fuel. Then agriculture activities, I gave you stubble burning. And not only that, in the fertilizers, pesticide, fertilizer, insecticide mein, we are using these elements like ammonia and all. That also is the reason for pollution. Factories and industries, again the reason of pollution. Mining activities, there is a open cast minings, there is a underground minings. So mining is also one of the reasons. Domestic source, friends, household cleaning products, chemicals which you are using, that also becomes the reason. Now, what are the effects of air pollution? These were the causes. Now, what will happen if air pollution is there? We know that if there's air pollution, obviously then there will be diseases. The main respiratory or heart related diseases are there, which is breathing problem and related to heart. Lung cancer, one of the reason. Pneumonia and asthma among children, that is also one of the reasons. आपने एनसीआर रीजन में स्टबल बर्निंग जो होता है आसपास की स्टेट्स में, whenever in the winter, because of the stubble burning, in the winter near Diwali festival, when Diwali festival is there, you fire the crackers and all. Because of that, a lot of breathing problem comes to the people who are living in NCR region of Delhi. Asthma problem, lung related problems, so all these issues are there. Pneumonia, asthma, lung cancer, respiratory disorder, heart disease, this all is related to air pollution. Global warming is another impact of air pollution. Global warming is when there is an imbalance in the gas composition. Imbalance in gas composition means carbon dioxide should be of particular amount. If the amount of carbon dioxide in the air will increase, obviously there will be imbalance in the gases composition, and that will lead to the global warming. So carbon dioxide, methane, if it keeps on increasing, then the temperature of the planet Earth will increase. और हमने डिस्कस किया था that there is a Paris Agreement 2015, I think Conference of Parties 15. That number is Conference of Parties not 15, I think 21. COP21, that was 2015 में Paris Agreement, जिसमें बोला गया था कि जो टेम्परेचर है ग्लोबल का, ग्लोबल टेम्परेचर, अर्थ का टेम्परेचर, दैट शुड नॉट वी शुड नॉट लेट इट इंक्रीज बियॉन्ड 2%. 1.5% तक कंट्रोल करने की ट्राई करेंगे, बट इन एनी केस इट शुड नॉट बी अलाउड टू गो बियॉन्ड 2%, बिकॉज इफ दैट हैपेंस देन इट कैन बी डिजास्टरस. सो ये हमारा जो ग्लोबल टेम्परेचर है दैट शुड नॉट इंक्रीज. So that was the Paris Agreement. So global warming is one of the result of air pollution. Then acid rain. Acid rain क्यों होता है? नाइट्रोजन ऑक्साइड एंड सल्फर ऑक्साइड जब वाटर के साथ मिलता है तो आपके सल्फ्यूरिक एसिड, नाइट्रिक एसिड are formed, and that eventually is the acid rain. Then friends, there is a ozone layer, O3. Ozone layer, there is a good ozone, there is a bad ozone. गुड ओजोन इज इन द स्ट्रेटोस्फियर. अर्थ के ऊपर अलग अलग आपके लेयर्स हैं. फर्स्ट लेयर इज अ ट्रोपोस्फियर जो 10 किलोमीटर तक होता है. जिसमें एरोप्लेन फ्लाई करता है। फिर उसके बाद आपका स्ट्रेटोस्फियर आता है जो आपका 10 किलोमीटर से 50 किलोमीटर तक होता है, 10 किलोमीटर तक ट्रोपोस्फियर, उसके बाद स्ट्रेटोस्फियर। ओजोन जो है ट्रोपोस्फियर में भी होती है, स्ट्रेटोस्फियर में भी होती है। जो ट्रोपोस्फियर में ओजोन है वो बेसिकली बैड ओजोन है क्योंकि वो ग्लोबल वार्मिंग प्रोड्यूस करती है। जो स्ट्रेटोस्फियर में ओजोन है वो गुड ओजोन है बिकॉज वो अर्थ को या हम लोगों को प्रोटेक्ट करती है अल्ट्रावायलेट रेडिएशन ऑफ द सन। देयर इज अ गुड ओजोन। नाउ देयर आर सम सब्सटेंसेस व्हिच डिप्लीट ओजोन, क्लोरोफ्लोरोकार्बन, हाइड्रोक्लोरोफ्लोरोकार्बन, ब्रोमीन एंड क्लोरीन, ये ओजोन को डिप्लीट करते हैं। तो अगर एयर के अंदर हाइड्रोफ्लोरोकार्बन, क्लोरोफ्लोरोकार्बन अगर होगा तो वो क्लोरीन को डिप्लीट करेगा और वो ओजोन लेयर को डिप्लीट कर देगा। वो बेसिकली ओजोन को डिप्लीट करेगा, क्लोरीन उसको ओजोन के रिएक्शन करके ओजोन को कम कर देगा और उससे अल्ट्रावायलेट रेडिएशन सरफेस पे आएंगी और हम लोगों को स्किन कैंसर्स होंगे। दैट इज ओजोन लेयर डिप्लीशन। Then air pollution has impact on aquatic life also, जो पानी में रहते हैं जीव जंतु उनके ऊपर, एंड बाकी जो एनिमल्स हैं उनके ऊपर भी इसका इम्पैक्ट पड़ेगा। नाउ रीड दिस पर्टिकुलर थिंग, दिस इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। स्ट्रेटोस्फियर ओजोन, पहले तो बेसिकली एक ट्रोपोस्फियर होता है जिसमें ओजोन होती है लेकिन बहुत कम अमाउंट में होती है, फिर स्ट्रेटोस्फियर में होती है। स्ट्रेटोस्फियर ओजोन जो है वो नेचुरली अकरिंग गैस है जो अल्ट्रावायलेट रेडिएशन से हमें बचाती है। ये गुड ओजोन होती है और ये अल्ट्रावायलेट रेडिएशन के हार्मफुल इफेक्ट से हमें बचाती है। अगर ओजोन लेयर डिप्लीट हो जाए, कम हो जाए, तो ज्यादा अल्ट्रावायलेट रेडिएशन सरफेस ऑफ अर्थ पे आएंगी और हम लोगों के लिए वो हार्मफुल होगा। एक ऐसा एग्रीमेंट है जिसको मॉन्ट्रियल अकॉर्ड बोलते हैं, मॉन्ट्रियल प्रोटोकॉल बोलते हैं। वो उन सब्सटेंसेस के साथ डील करता है जो ओजोन लेयर को डिप्लीट करते हैं। अगर कभी एग्जाम में क्वेश्चन आए कि कौन सा प्रोटोकॉल ओजोन लेयर डिप्लीटिंग सब्सटेंसेस के साथ रिलेटेड है, वो मॉन्ट्रियल प्रोटोकॉल है और इसको हम डिस्कस कर चुके हैं। वी हैव ऑलरेडी डिस्कस दिस प्रोटोकॉल एंड ये इंपॉर्टेंट है। जो ओजोन आपकी ट्रोपोस्फियर में होती है वो काफी कम अमाउंट में होती है, लेकिन दिस इज हार्मफुल, दैट इज नॉट गुड। देयर इज अ बैड ओजोन, देयर इज अ गुड ओजोन, देयर इज अ बैड ओजोन, एज वी डिस्कस्ड गुड ओजोन एंड बैड ओजोन। सो जो ओजोन आपकी स्ट्रेटोस्फियर में है दैट इज गुड, दैट प्रोटेक्ट अस फ्रॉम अल्ट्रावायलेट रेडिएशन। जो ओजोन ट्रोपोस्फियर में है दैट इज नॉट गुड बिकॉज एक तो ग्लोबल वार्मिंग प्रोड्यूस करेगी एंड सेकंड ये जो लिविंग ऑर्गेनिज्म है उनके साथ रिएक्ट करके उनको बेसिकली हार्म भी करती है। सो दैट इज समथिंग व्हिच इज नॉट गुड। नाउ सी these two images, these two diagrams friends। ये यहां पे एरोप्लेन बनाया हुआ है। तो अर्थ की सरफेस के ऊपर अलग अलग लेयर हैं। 10 किलोमीटर तक ट्रोपोस्फियर है और एरोप्लेन जिस हाइट पे उड़ता है वो 10 किलोमीटर है। एरोप्लेन इतनी हाइट पे इसलिए उड़ता है बिकॉज ऑक्सीजन वहां पे कम, एयर रेजिस्टेंस वहां पे कम होता है। तो अगर एरोप्लेन को एयर रेजिस्टेंस कम मिलेगा तो फ्यूल ज्यादा चलेगा और एरोप्लेन ज्यादा माइलेज वहां पे मिलेगा, मतलब फ्यूल ज्यादा यूज हो चल सकता है, ड्रैग फोर्स कम होगा। अब 10 किलोमीटर तक एरोप्लेन फ्लाई करता है ट्रोपोस्फियर तक, उसके बाद है स्ट्रेटोस्फियर। ओजोन लार्जली ओजोन स्ट्रेटोस्फियर में है, एज यू कैन सी ओजोन लेयर। Yes, so with the deforestation, because what forest will do? Forest will convert the carbon dioxide into oxygen. How? Photosynthesis process. Chlorophyll, that green pigment in the leaves, that convert carbon dioxide into sugar and oxygen and clean the air. So forests are the sink, actually big sink. Now this is the image for acid rain. SOX, NOx with water give you H2SO4, HN3, that is the acid rain. And one of the impacts of acid rain मैंने आपको बताया था, जैसे ताजमहल का येलोइश कलर the white marble of Taj Mahal is getting spoiled. So that impact is because of acid rain. Now, how to control the pollution? What are the various measures? सबसे पहले व्हीकल यूज करना कम करो और एनर्जी को कंजर्व करो. कंजर्व द एनर्जी. डू नॉट मिसयूज द एनर्जी विच इज प्रोड्यूस्ड बाय फॉसिल फ्यूल्स. कंजर्व द एनर्जी. Avoid using the vehicle. Control the transportation. These are some of the ways. I mean, use a public mode of transportation. Public mode use karo. What can be other pollution control measures? What other pollution control measures can you use? Other pollution control measures can be this. Minimize or reduce the use of fire and fire products. Industrial emission is one of the main reasons, so you need to control that. Maybe you can use compressed natural gas instead of petrol and diesel. Petrol and diesels are high carbon fuel. CNG is methane. आपको पता है सबसे छोटा जो साइज, जो सबसे स्मॉलेस्ट कार्बन चेन फ्यूल है वो दैट इज अ मीथेन, then ethane, then propane. So methane is a very small carbon molecule, and hence natural basically fuel or methane compressed natural gas is not that polluting. Vehicles should be tested properly. Equipment should be properly maintained. Plant the trees. So these all are the ways in which you can basically control the air pollution. Air pollution को control करने के ये method है. Yes, troposphere traps global warming gases. It is not troposphere which traps. It is like these greenhouse gases are actually inside troposphere only. Carbon dioxide, methane, they are heavy gases. They are in the troposphere only. So troposphere does not trap these gases. These gases are already there. But these greenhouse gases will trap the infrared radiation of solar energy. Solar radiation comes, infrared radiation get reflected, and then these greenhouse gases will trap these gases. What is the major cause of air pollution? Okay, major cause is burning of the fossil fuel. So friends, very small type of question can be asked in the exam. You should be aware about this. How come air pollution will cause global warming? Okay, and what is the acid rain now? And which gases are responsible for acid rain? Nitrogen oxide, sulfur oxide, these are released into the atmosphere, and these basically will cause the acid rain, as we discussed earlier. Is deforestation cause of air pollution? As you were asking the question, yes, deforestation is the cause of air pollution. And photosynthesis process is the photochemical reaction in which carbon dioxide eventually will get converted into sugar and oxygen. So photosynthesis obviously is the major process through which carbon dioxide can be controlled. Let's go for some question, friends. These are some questions which we can do on the basis of whatever we discussed. So some important questions for us. Read this question and try to see whether the answer you understand or not. Very simple question. Any undesirable. This is a definition of the pollution actually. This is a typical definition of the pollution. Somebody asks you what is the definition of pollution, you will say, sir, this is the definition of the pollution. Okay, so what are the pollutants? Pollutants are actually the agents that bring the undesirable change, which is called pollution. So pollutant brings the pollution. It is the pollutant which bring the pollution. When was Environment Protection Act passed? When was this passed? So Environment Protection Act 1986 is very, very important. So you should be very, very clear about Environmental Protection Act 1986. And the main purpose of this act was to control the pollution. Air, water, soil pollution. Again, to improve and protect the quality of our environment, Environment Protection Act was passed. 1986. It is important, friends. What is the impact of air pollution on plants? It reduces the growth and reduces the yield. Obviously, plants के ऊपर air pollution का impact होता है. Succession means what is going to be the next, first and the second and third succession, the order. On what does harmful effect of pollution depend upon? So that depends upon what is the concentration and what is the duration of such exposure. Eventually, on the basis of these two, respiratory diseases, will be there. So depending upon what is the concentration and for how long is the exposure. So which industry eventually releases the particulate air pollutants along with harmless gases such as nitrogen, oxygen, etc. Friends, the thermal power plant or smelter जो हैं, that is the main source of pollution. Thermal power plants and smelters, they are the main source of pollution. And they release what smoke stacks. Smoke stacks क्या होते हैं? They contain the particulate matter and this. Exam में question can be asked from smoke stacks also. What do you mean by smoke stack? Smoke, there are two words, plus stacking the smoke. Something which is stacking the smoke. That is called smoke stacks. Something which is stacking the smoke. Which is most widely used technique to remove particulate matter? This is an important question, friends. Very, very important question for your exam. How to remove particulate matter? Answer is electrostatic precipitator is the technique. Electrostatic precipitator we will do in one of the classes. We'll understand what is electrostatic precipitator. Electrostatic precipitator क्या होता है and what is the meaning of that? In one of the classes we will do that. Electrostatic precipitator. So which component of electrostatic precipitator is used to remove gases like sulfur dioxide through spray of water or lime? Again, there is a scrubber in the electrostatic precipitator which is used for this. Scrubber in the electrostatic precipitator. So what is the role of scrubber? What is the role of scrubber which is in the electrostatic precipitator? What is the meaning of CPCB? Central Pollution Control Board. It was formed in 1974 under Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Central Pollution Control Board it is called. Central Pollution Control Board in 1974. It is called Central Pollution Control Board. Now, second important thing after electrostatic precipitator is catalytic converter. That is the second thing which we should discuss. Catalytic converter. What is the meaning of catalytic converter? ये एक्चुअली आपके ऑटोमोबाइल्स के अंदर होते हैं कैटालिटिक कन्वर्टर, और इनके अंदर कुछ एक्सपेंसिव मेटल्स होते हैं जो कैटालिस्ट की तरह से काम करते हैं टू रिड्यूस द एमिशन ऑफ पॉइजनस गैसेस. कैटालिटिक कन्वर्टर. These are called catalytic converters. So electrostatic precipitator and catalytic converter ये दो important आपके terms हैं जो I think you should revise before you go for your exam. Catalytic converter and electrostatic precipitator. And what kind of metals, expensive metals are used and all, that also you should be aware. Okay, so what is the unit in which you measure the sound? What is the unit in which you measure the sound? Sound is actually measured in the decibel. Decibel is the unit of the sound. और अगर sound level बहुत ज्यादा हो जाए, high decibel हो जाए, then it can be dangerous for your human being. कितने डेसिबल पे it can be dangerous? So permanent impairing or hearing will be damaged at 150 decibel. 150 decibel is very high decibel. Okay, so that is may not be very important for us. Latest information will be provided to you related to this. Why CNG is preferred over petrol? CNG is called compressed natural gas. So somebody asks you, what is compressed natural gas? What do you mean by natural gas? Natural gas is CH4, methane. This is also called marsh gas. वेट एरियाज में ये गैस होती है, मार्श गैस इसी का नाम है. सो कंप्रेस्ड नेचुरल गैस है. because compared to petrol and diesel it is preferred because इसमें pollution कम होता है. That is the reason we prefer it. Yes, so Bharat stage 6 vehicles automatically come with the catalytic converter. That is true, right? Okay, friends, so this was today's lecture, and I'm very sure you people are preparing very nicely for your HPCL exam. Not only HPCL, any environment related exam, if you are preparing, this topic will be very, very helpful for you. So, in case you are preparing for tailor made modules like HPCL, RCFL, any exam tailor made which YourPedia has launched, start preparing it. Lot of job opportunities related to that. तो आप उसको तैयार करना स्टार्ट करो एंड prepare fully, because competition can be less, because students, not very lot of students are preparing for that. Competition will be drastically less for you and you can get all these opportunities. Daily live class हमारा almost होता है, so on YourPedia you get all these classes daily and very good kind of concepts we discuss, जहां से डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन आने के चांस होते हैं तुम्हारे एग्जाम्स में, एंड यू नेवर नो 1 or 2 marks वेयर इट कैन टेक यू. तो रेगुलर सीरीज अटेंड करो और क्लासेस अटेंड करो and take these documents also and prepare very well. So I take leave of you now and I'll catch you tomorrow for the next class. And yeah, thank you, Vardhan. And tomorrow also I'll come with another topic and we'll cover that. Thank you.